Fans, we are back at it with another segment here of Monday Night Mayhem, your home of wrestling radio. We broadcast once again live to air along the areas of the Monday Night Mayhem radio network. Blade, it's hot. It's Buffalo, New York. It's the dead of the summer right now. We are T-minus.
It's actually snowing out.
No, it's not snowing.
Oh, okay.
Come on. Just because we're in Buffalo doesn't necessarily mean that it's snowing. But we are T-minus less than 2 weeks away from the Ballpark Brawl Spectacular. Ballpark Brawl 8 at Dunn Tire Park. You can log on to ballparkbrawl.com for all the details on next Thursday afternoon and evening's activities. A gentleman who's actually going to be in attendance at the Ballpark Brawl. His career spans the test of time.
Well, just hold on one second here. Let me give the proper introduction here.
Go ahead, Blade. Go ahead, Blade.
Since we couldn't secure the rights to the theme music, since the WWE would not sign them over to us, I'm going to do a short a cappella version of his song, okay?
Go ahead,
I'm just going to do the first couple lines, and this should give it away. You ready?
Okay.
You're a job soul bro, and you always lying to your friends. You're a job soul bro, and you never get nothing in the end. Now, I don't know if those are the exact words, but that's how I remember it from the 80s.
I think that is absolutely tremendous. The Doctor of Style, the good Reverend himself, Slick aboard the Mayhem airwaves. Hopefully my co-host Blade did your theme music justice, good sir, Slick.
No, he didn't do it justice. There's only one Slick, and you're talking to him right now, the one and only. Nobody can do my theme music like I can. It was a poor imitation, but I give him credit for trying.
Well, I guess
we'll leave the final segment, for Slick to sing it for us.
Exactly. I think
Exactly.
if it came down to American Idol, Slick, I think that my co-host Blade might strike out. I don't even think that he get past round one.
Man. Simon would have a field day with him.
I agree.
I'd get the William Hung treatment without the recording deal.
But, of course, we did mention the Doctor of Style is going to be at Ballpark Brawl. He's going to be here in Buffalo, New York. And a special announcement here on the Mayhem, there is going to be a European-style rules match with 2 competitors to be determined. There's going to be some special guest judges, 3 special guest judges, 1 to be determined. But believe it or not, 2 of the judges, the Doctor of Style, Slick, as well as myself, the Big Mosh. So you heard it here first. Myself, the Big Mosh, and Slick are going to be special guest judges at Ballpark Brawl. Slick, what's it going to be like coming for you back to Buffalo, New York? Let me ask you that right off the bat.
First of all, it's been a long time since I've been in the New York area, but I can assure you that the fans there, they know about the Doctor of Style. They've witnessed me on many occasions come in and represent the biggest names in the business, and they know that when the Doctor hits town for my enemy, it's nothing but frowns.
That's 100% accurate. And Slick, I got to tell you, myself and my co-host Blade, we were at WrestleMania in Detroit this past April, and we managed to hear some rumblings outside of Ford Field, and we couldn't believe it. We heard the Doctor of Style, Slick, is in the house. He's going to be doing something on the show. And, we're a huge fan of yours from back in your time in the WWF and WWE, and we didn't believe it because, of course, on the Internet, you can't believe it until it actually happens. And when we saw yourself, and Mean Gene Okerlund, and Ron Simmons, and a bunch of the WWE legends, Extreme Expose, you made your triumphant return to the WWE at a backstage segment at WrestleMania. What was that like for you being a part of WrestleMania in front of 80,000 people at Ford Field?
Well, as you know, it marked the 20th anniversary of WrestleMania 3, where at WrestleMania 3, I was a part of the team that had the largest crowd to draw in sports in a dome in the history. And so we were there to commemorate that. And you can't have it without the Doctor being there.
And, of course, you fans saw exactly what fun, what antics that the Doctor of Style brings to the table now. There was yourself, there was Jimmy Hart. We even managed to see Erwin R. Shyster get down. I mean, let me ask you this, Slick. Out of all the people that were part of that segment, who had the best dance move besides yourself?
Well, really, nobody. Probably Mae Young and Moolah.
I got to say, Chaz, for Moolah and Mae Young being their age, they definitely get down with their bad selves.
They're pretty limber for their age. I like it.
Exactly.
One with a good gilf.
Gilf.
Yeah, Grandma,
Well, as you can see, they couldn't keep their hands off the Doctor. You saw it for yourself. Mae Young and Moolah, they only wanted to concentrate on the doctor. They wouldn't let the young girls get married. What a shame.
Now, I got to throw this at you here, Slick. The fact that, you know what, it's a shame to a certain extent, but the art of the manager truly has become lost over the past even, 5-10 years within professional wrestling. And, of course, when people think of great managers, they think of Bobby Heenan, they think of Jimmy Hart, they think of the late Miss Elizabeth, the late Sensational Sherry, but they always think of yourself because, you know what, you cared about your guys, you were dressed nicely coming down to the ring, and you always exuded that entertainment, that persona that, brought the fans to you. So when someone comes up to you on the street and they say, you know what, Slick, you were one of the greatest wrestling managers in professional wrestling history, what does that mean to you looking back on your career?
Well, looking back on my career, as you know, I was the very first African-American manager in WWE history. And I'm very proud of that. In addition to that, when people think about your doctor, they think about excellence. They think about a person who knew what he was doing, who knew how to do what he did, and who made the fans feel like they got their money's worth every night.
Now, of course, Chaz, if you rattle the list of who's who that the Doctor style managed, it's pretty much a calling card of some of the great competitors, some of the fiercest guys in the history of the business. The Iron Sheik Nikolai Volkov, who both will be in attendance in Madison Square Garden tonight for Raw. The Natural Butch Reed, of course, the late Big Boss Man. Who could forget Akeem, the African Dream?
The one-man gang who turned into Akeem under the tutelage of the Slickster.
You are correct on that. The Warlord Paul Roma, the late Hercules, and, of course, even the model Rick Martel. Let me ask you this, who are you the proudest to say, you know what, I managed this guy? Out of all the guys that you managed in your time in the then World Wrestling Federation, who was the guy that you can look back and say, you know what, I did the best stuff with him, we had some great times, and it's not to put anybody to shame or whatnot, but you obviously have, greater memories of certain guys more so than others.
Well, I spent more time. I'm not going to say who I was the most proud of. I'll say who I spent the most time with. How about that? Will that work for you? All right, that would be Akeem, the African Dream, and that would be my main man, the Natural Butch Reed.
Ah, there we go. Now, Blade, you do have to say there's, who could forget the Natural Butch Reed, Blade?
You couldn't.
Exactly, and you know what? Who knows? Maybe with Theodore Arlong getting married on SmackDown, we already see Ron Simmons. Could we see a Doom reunion?
Yeah, maybe Simmons can get him in.
Who knows? Maybe we'll see the return of the Natural Butch Reed to World Wrestling Entertainment. We are on the line with the Reverend, the Doctor of Style, Slick, aboard the airways of Monday Night Mayhem, your home of wrestling radio. I believe it. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but you can check out Slick. He's going to be in the New Jersey area, Carteret, New Jersey, for the Legends of the Ring convention next weekend. So you can log on to legendsofthering.com for more details on that.
I just wanted to actually ask Slick if he felt maybe his greatest accomplishment might have been teaching Kamala to bowl.
That's it. It was a very difficult job, and I'm the only one that could have done it.
Well, you know what? I think that, Kamala turned over a new leaf, Chaz, after he learned how to bowl. He was the Ugandan giant, always this fierce competitor. And you saw the soft side of Kamala when he learned how to bowl. Slick taught him some great values on that.
Slick has a lot to teach. I mean, he's managed some of the best tag teams of all time. And actually, I wanted to ask Slick, do you feel like the tag teams now, like the art of the tag team has been kind of lost? I mean, you managed Nikolai Volkov and Iron Sheik. We talked about them. The Twin Towers. Tag teams that were memorable because of their gimmicks, because of how they performed in the ring. Is the tag team division kind of lost right now, and do you feel like it needs a little bit of help?
Well, the problem is the Doctor has retired. And so when the Doctor retired, quite naturally something was lost. And it can never be regained unless I decide to come out of retirement. It's just that simple.
And the only way to sum that up is exactly.
I think that you actually... now I do have to say this, Slick. My co-host Chaz is probably the lamest white boy to a certain extent, but you managed to pull that off quite well, good sir.
Of course, that's right. That's why I pull for the good people in Harlem to call in and bring a little diversity to the show. We don't have enough.
I actually wanted to head into some of our email questions for you, Slick. Now, it seems that, the whole nostalgia thing, it's tremendous. It's kicking in, obviously, with the different conventions that are out there for the fans to take part in and meet their former favorite wrestlers or former managers, former tag teams, and so on and so forth. Is there any chance that we could see a full-time WWE return for the Doctor of Style, to class things up a little bit in the WWE, because you know what? They're taking their fair share of